Natalie Portman, the woman that did not even want to do any more Marvel movies just a couple of years ago, the woman that hated doing the movies that she was in during her time in the MCU, has decided to take on the role of Thor, Goddess of Thunder. And she will be in at least one Thor movie, Thor Love and Thunder. But yes, we are getting a female Thor in the MCU because Hollywood just loves to use gender when they are out of original ideas. It is one of the few wild cards that they can continuously use, even though it does awful, and people have proven that time and time again with declining sales when it comes to those type of movies. If something is less traditional or features less men, they really think that that is what is going to sell, even though in this situation it is not going to sell. And it is not going to sell because this is not a totally new concept. It's not like they just decided to pull this out of nowhere and make Jane Foster god and worthy of possessing the power of Thor. Because if this was a new concept, this idea would be so much worse if this did not already have a little bit of a backstory. But this Thor Goddess of Thunder concept is actually based off of a comic series where Jane Foster obtains the power of Thor. She is dying of cancer, and every time she wields the hammer, the effects that chemotherapy had on her body wear off. So essentially the story was every time she would wield the power of Thor, she was killing herself to become a hero, which isn't an awful concept. It was pretty decent at the very beginning, don't get me wrong. But it felt so forced, and this movie feels so forced. Because this is why it is going to fail just like the comic series. And the comic series failed hard. It was a definite nope to anyone that bought it, because it did not start off bad, but in 2018 when they ended it, they killed Jane Foster off, and it was actually talked a lot about because this was actually one of the series that they tried to say was why their comic sales were declining. Marvel's vice president of sales actually said back before the comic was canceled that what we heard was that people did not want any more diversity. They didn't want female characters out there. That's what we heard. Whether we believe that or not, I do not know if that is really true, but that's what we saw in sales. I am going to be honest, I love the ideas of new characters. I love seeing female superheroes just as much as I love seeing male superheroes. But this is not the way to do it. This is not going to sell comic books, movie tickets, or children's merchandise. They tried to use the marketing power of Thor, and they tried to add more to the story by removing and replacing him. Do you really think that is going to work? That is what people specifically do not like. When you take a very loved and established character and try to replace them, it's not because we do not like seeing female characters and we do not occasionally like seeing diverse characters. It's because you're pushing away classic characters for new ones that are not established in people's minds, characters that are expendable in people's minds, and that is the problem. We have such a long list of franchises at this point that they have changed to fit in more females or more diverse characters. And a lot of the time it really does not work because the people creating the movies and the franchises and changing the franchises are approaching them wrong. They're approaching it for diversity, and fans of these movies just want it to be an authentic experience. To me, I just want it to be an authentic experience, enjoying the characters that I love and feeling like it matters, feeling like these are not just characters that are co-opted for a narrative and for a specific reason besides storytelling and adding to the universe that they are in. Why did they even think that people would want a movie like this? No one even liked the comic series. Okay, to be fair, I really did not hate it. I did read a lot of it, and most of it, or some of it at least, was genuinely funny because they really gave her likable character aspects. She was not a bad character, she was Jane Foster enhanced, but A lot of the time, it just felt like a mediocre comic series. Nothing very special or memorable about it most of the time. If you really want new characters, write them away from all of the classics. I love seeing new characters and the potential that they have. The potential of new storylines, new adventures, new places to go, and new characters to meet. But I also really love seeing my favorite characters, and as you can see, those characters still sell movies, comics, and that is not changing no matter how many new ones you replace them with. Making movies of comic book characters that a lot of people did not even like is not going to save the MCU in Phase 4, and it is not going to sell more comic books. The comics industry is not doing well, and they should really consider why. Look at Captain Marvel. I'm sure with the direction that they went with her, she did not sell any more comic books. I do not think that it is an awful idea, but Natalie Portman as Jane Foster never really did it for me. She never had the it factor for me. She does not have the personality. And especially with this change of character that they're going with, where she is going to be a more noble character, I just do not see her fitting in. And I just do not see this movie being one that people are going to enjoy. I think that if they are going to go a lot off of how they went with the comic books, it's just going to turn into a fail, and maybe all we will see is one movie, and maybe at the end of that movie, her fate will be the same and she will only be around for one movie. I love Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think that he has done a great and fantastic job, and I do think a lot of the characters that they have in the movies are not bad. I am excited to see what else they're going to do with Phase 4. They did talk about it at the San Diego Comic-Con. And I am just, in general, curious to see the storyline that they are going with this Jane Foster. If they are going to change it more towards the comics, or if they are going to keep to what they've been doing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that is just keeping with having slightly different twists on the characters, but you all will have to let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you excited for Thor, Goddess of Thunder? Are you disappointed with this decision? Please let us know if you like this video and my thoughts on it, kind of giving you all a little bit of a backstory about Thor, Goddess of Thunder and Jane Foster. Please make sure to give the video a like, and if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate the support on these videos either way. Make sure to subscribe if you are not already, but I do hope that you enjoyed, and I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.